Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Bushcraft Basics. We're continuing with our knot series, and today we're going to cover the jam knot, also known as the Canadian jam knot. Super easy knot to tie, incredibly useful for lashing things together when you need something really quick and you can put a lot of pressure on it. For the terms we're going to use, standing end, working end, all that, see our first episode in the Bushcraft Basics series where I cover that information. So without further ado, let's get down to it. We're going to take our working end of the cord. Now, to do a jam knot, typically you're going to take a length of cord, however much you need, to go around whatever you're putting the jam knot on. And then you want to add anywhere from 8 inches, down to maybe 4 or 5 inches extra cord. Okay? So I have a length of cord here. It's about 20 inches long. So I could put this around some pretty decent sized stuff. Okay? So we're going to take our working end. We're going to do an overhand loop. We're going to go over the standing end of the cord. And then we're going to pull that cord through. Okay? That right there is the basics of the jam knot. Now what I like to do is I like to work some more of that cord through this way. Bring it down. Okay? Then I take this end, the short tag end, that it was our original working end, and put an overhand knot in it, just like that. Okay? And right now we have a jam knot. Now this is a slip knot. This is our other standing end. Watch this. I just pull on that, look, it comes down like a zip tie. This is also, a lot of people call this the Bushman's zip tie. So I go over this. Look at this, I can really crank down. I can put a lot of pressure on that. So if I had two things here, I could lash them together and get really tight on that. And then when you want to undo it, this end that I knotted, I always do that so I can feel it in the dark too. You just pull it and it undoes it. See that? So let's say you wanted to put this on, lash something on, and you don't want it coming loose. You want that lash tight. So we're going to lash right around our Lansky Super C clamp. And then you would take your standing end that you just pulled on to tighten this, and you want to do an overhand knot. Real simple, right? And then you want to work that knot all the way down against this, just like that. Now it can't come loose. The only way this can come loose is if you untie this overhand knot, and we're just going to work that loose. This is really good, like I said, for fast building, like if you got something you need to lash up right now. And then we're going to pull that tag in and it comes loose. Now I went over something here. What if we got something that we need to go around, that we can't get the cord over a loop like that? Well, we're going to take our working end, we're leaving this overhand knot in here, and we're going to do it again. Make an overhand loop, put the loop over the standing end, pull the standing end through, okay? So there is our basic jam knot, right? Well, just take this cord out, put it around your object, put it back through, tighten this down, just like that, and then tighten it down. There you go. That's the quickest way I know to do the Canadian jam knot, or the jam knot. I don't know why it started getting called the Canadian jam knot. I'm sure there's some lore there. I don't know. But that's it. In a nutshell, that's a jam knot. Basically, it's a slip knot that allows you to torque down on something like a zip tie. So, I hope you learned something. Practice this knot. It can be very useful. In fact, this is what I use with smaller cordage when I roll up my ponchos to keep them together. I put 2 of these on either end and torque down pretty good, and it works really well. So, with that all said, I'll see you later out in the woods.